It's so hard to change your life. And today we're going to talk about why that is and what you can do to combat that. Hey there, my name is Jen. I am a mindset coach, and this is the show where I help you change your life starting on the inside. And today we are going to talk about why it is so friggin' difficult for you to change your life because it is January, my friend, and we all know what that means. Everybody is setting goals. Everybody wants to lose this amount of weight. They want to make this much money. They want a new relationship, etc., etc. But we've been here before, haven't we? We have set those lofty goals. We have set those good intentions for ourselves. And 1 year later, what has happened? We are more or less in the exact same place. And today, I want to tell you a little bit about why that is. Because here's the thing. You failing at your so-called New Year's resolutions is not proof that there's something wrong with you. Although I know that is exactly what your brain has been telling you. And this is part of the problem. So go get cozy. We're going to get into it right now. You've already realized how difficult it is for you to change your life. And I know that you're looking back maybe at your list from a year ago and thinking, what is wrong with me? Why didn't I do all of these things? Many of us set these at this time of year because it's the beginning of the calendar year. But if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, it is also the middle of winter. And if you look around at nature, like I can see some trees outside right now, and they are all bare. They are bare. They are sleeping. They are not doing much. And if you live in the Northern Hemisphere like me, you probably don't feel like doing much right now either. January is a time for us to relax, to sit down, to sleep, to hibernate. It is not actually the best time for us to be starting new things. If you are in the Southern Hemisphere, my friends, you are probably in a way better position to start new things. But trying to start things in the middle of winter is just really not that wise. I'm not telling you you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying it kind of goes against what our bodies are naturally wanting to do right now. And that is automatically a problem that might get in your way. But besides the New Year's resolution issue, there is a larger problem at work here. And that problem is not what you think it is. Everybody thinks that because I didn't do this or I said I was going to lose 15 pounds and I only lost 5 or whatever the thing was, they think that means I am defective. I am bad. I'm a failure. I am doomed to be unhappy, poor, single, alone, whatever, forever. And I just want to tell you here right now that that is not the case. You have the power to change who you are at any point in time. But here is the issue. Right now, the big things in your life that you are struggling to transform are probably part of your identity. They are things that you assume about yourself to be true. Even if you're not consciously telling people, yeah, I'm poor, yeah, I suck at relationships, there is a part of your subconscious brain that really truly believes in that. And as long as you have the subconscious identity beliefs in your brain, you're going to keep showing up the same way you do all the time. Like I always say in all of these videos, when nothing changes, nothing changes. The problem with most of us when we set goals or intentions or resolutions is that we do not make a plan to change our identity. We do not make a plan of how to change our subconscious mind. And because our subconscious mind has not changed, it is going to want to show up and believe the same things it has always believed. It's going to want to show up and do the same behaviors it has always done. It is not about you being a failure of a person. It is not about you being too weak or too lazy or too whatever. It is just the simple fact that you have done zero work to change your subconscious mind. This is not a manifestation video, but I just want to touch on manifestation for a second because I teach it a little bit differently than most other people teach it. Many times in manifestation, teachers tell you that you can just set an intention and just sit back and wait for that thing to show up. But in my world, I'm telling you that you can set an intention, but then you have to do the work to take on that intention as part of your identity. You have to start bringing it into your mind. You have to create a new set of beliefs and therefore a new set of actions that support this new goal. And if you don't do that inner work, then you're probably not going to manifest what you want because once again, nothing has changed. Identity work and identity and subconscious reprogramming are the tools that you have been ignoring. So I know that there's a lot of stuff out there right now about New Year's resolutions and setting big goals and going big in this year, but without a little bit of mindset work, without a little bit of subconscious transformation, you are not setting yourself up for the best chance of success. I want to give you a few tips here today to help you to bridge the gap between where you are right now and where you want to go. The first tip that I'm giving you today is to stop telling yourself that your failures mean something about you. So you set a goal and you failed to achieve that goal in a certain amount of time. That does not have to reflect badly upon you, especially when you start to look at things from the subconscious paradigm. When you look back at the way you used to go after changing your life and realize that you were missing out on so much of the subconscious work, you're going to understand that this really didn't have anything to do with you. You were setting a goal, but you weren't giving yourself the best chance of success. So that's like saying that I am going to go swimming and swim this certain amount of distance, but I actually don't even have a bathing suit. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but what I'm trying to say is that you just did not have the right tools for the job. So there is no point in judging yourself and judging your past failures because you did not have the right tools for the job. So I want you to let go of all of that programming. I want you to see all of those times your inner mean guy or inner mean girl has called you names. And I want you to be like, okay, like that actually isn't true. I'm not actually stupid. I'm not defective. I'm not broken. I am not any of these things. And second to that, I get to be whoever I want to be in this life. And I want you to get really excited about that possibility. Your identity is just a habit. So, what we really need to do here is to learn how to create a new habit. Instead of you showing up as the same way you are right now, we are going to start showing up a little bit differently. So, the second step, I want you to think about what that one big goal is for you in your life and try not to go too crazy here. I know a lot of people tend to write down a lot of little goals, but I want you to focus here for now and just think about that one big juicy goal that you want to achieve. And I want you to start to make a list here of the person who you would be if you had this thing. If it's a money goal, what kind of person would you be to have created that amount of wealth in your life? And you can write down anything here. Maybe you are the person who now reads the Financial Times. Maybe you are the person now who can explain crypto to anybody without looking it up. Maybe you are this kind of person who has set their investments on automatic and you don't think about it anymore, but you know that you are putting a certain amount of money away each week or each month. There are many different ways that your vision can solidify. So I want you to just journal it out here and start to really look at who this person is, what their actions are, and also what their beliefs are. You probably have a long jumbled list here of a bunch of different ideas. But the next step is that I want you to look at that and think about who this person is from an identity perspective. Me as a successful business person, what does that look like? What do I believe in myself? How am I showing up? What am I doing differently? How do I describe myself, for example? I know right now, if you go on a date and you describe yourself to somebody, it's going to sound different than it will when you were in that future state, right? So, who is that future state? How does that person describe themselves on a first date, in an elevator, at a job interview? Think about what those things are. Who are you now? You're more confident, you're more approachable, you are funnier, you are whatever, whatever comes to mind. Write it down, put it on there, and write down what you believe about yourself. Because in the next step, we are going to talk about how to start believing these new things. So now we have a list here. We have the thing that you want. We have a bunch of ideas about actions and beliefs. We have more of a focused idea of what their identity is. So now we're going to start to take in some of those identity beliefs and start to try to bring them into our subconscious mind. So from here, I would suggest you do something like hypnosis. I have my aligned audio hypnosis program. I'm not sure how many meditations we have in there now, but there's quite a few, and that really will help you to rewire your brain for more money, love, etc. You can make up your own hypnosis or your own meditation. You can start start to train yourself when you are waking up in the morning or going to sleep at night. You can start to repeat some of those ideas to yourself. The point here is we are just trying to bring those into our subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is most receptive to hypnosis. It is receptive when you are falling asleep and waking up, because that is another state of hypnosis. And it is also receptive to repetition. So just telling yourself these things and repeating it to yourself and looking at your list and telling it to yourself every single morning, something like that eventually is going to start to break through and create a new way of looking at yourself. So that is a very simple plan that should really take you a long way to start to create the mindset that you need in order to create the results that you want. I just really want you to remember that if you do not take action to change your subconscious mind, you cannot be shocked if your life doesn't change, because you are just going to go back to those old habits, because that is just part of your identity. It is just a habitual thought that you are coming back to over and over again without thinking about it. It takes conscious effort to reprogram your mindset to think a new way and to believe new things about yourself, and in turn to create a new world for yourself. So please, please, please do these simple steps I've given you today and really commit to changing those mindset beliefs just in one little area of your life. And if you keep up with this, keep up the mindset and reprogramming work for at least 2 months. I mean, 1 month minimum, but I would suggest more than that. Do that and see how much things start to change for you. Most people will forget about all of this, do hypnosis once, and go right back to their old self. But I want you to make a promise to yourself, to make a promise to your future self, to make a promise to yourself that is 1 year away from right now, that I'm going to be different. And right here, right now, I am committing to doing the subconscious work to achieve that goal. Yes, you'll have to do the other work too, but let's start with the subconscious and see how far that takes you. Okay, so that is it for today's video. My beautiful friend, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, please do me a favor. Give me a like if you're on YouTube, 5 stars if you're on Spotify, or send it to a friend that could really use this message. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one.